Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Wabihi nasta'in wa ala umuri dunya wa din. Assalatu wassalamu ala asrafil anbiya'i wal mursalin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajmain amma ba'du. The Honorable Miss Septa Aryanika, MPD, is our lecture of Seminar in Language Teaching. First of all, let's say thanks to our God Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala who has given us His mercies and blessings so that I'm able to make this video. Secondly, may salawat and salam always be given to our Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam who has guided us from the darkness to brightness, from the stupidity to the cleverness, from Jahiliyah era to the Islamiyah era, namely Islamic religion that we love. Well, my name is Rika Elfita and I'm from 6D class, and my student number 17, 11, 04, 01, and 23. Well, in this video, I would like to make a simulation of seminar because I want to fulfill my assignment of seminar in language teaching by the title, The Influence of Using Kahoot toward Student Reading Comprehension Ability. At the third semester of English Education Study Program of UIN Raden Intan Lampung in the academic year of 2020 and 2021. Well, for the first, I would like to tell you about my background of the problem, as we know that reading is one of important skill of English that should be mastered by the students. Based on preliminary research, that I found some problems about the difficulties of reading are: the first is the student's ability is low in comprehension reading text. Well, the second, the students have lacked the motivation to learn reading comprehensions. So, in this problem, the students are lazy to read, are lazy to do tasks about reading and something like that. And the third, the board of teachers media is used. So in this problem, it's about the teacher of using media in the teaching reading is make the students bored. So based on the problem, the researcher want to know exactly how to solve its problem. Based on that problem, also, the researcher would like to use Kahoot as a media in a teaching reading comprehensions, especially in the giving of questions and reviews of materials in the end of the learning process. Well, Kahoot is a game online which is not free, but it's fun in a learning process. It's a platform that can be used in a process in teaching and learning. And I hope that by using this media, learning and teaching process of reading comprehension, it will be better. Well, the next point is about the previous research. Well, I found there are 3 previous research. For the first is the previous research conducted by Putri Desmalasari from University of Muhammadiyah Sumatera Utara entitled The Use of Kahoot Media in a Teaching Reading, a case of study at the first grade of senior high school Hang Tuah Belawan in academic year of 2019 and 2020. Well, the second previous research is conducted by Adinda Rizky Putri by the title The Effectiveness of Using Kahoot Game to Improve Students' Vocabulary Comprehensions at the 7th grade student of Junior High School 15 Semarang in academic year of 2019 and 2020. Well, the third previous research is conducted by Misty Ranandya Pridedi by the title Improving Students' Motivations and Reading Comprehension by Using Kahoot. at the 11th grade of Senior High School 1 Wonosari in academic year of 2019 and 2020. From this previous research, we can know that uh, it's New Year. Well, the differences between the previous research and the researcher are the first research that conducted by Putri Desmalasari. It's applied at the first grade of senior high school Hang Tuah Belawan in academic year of 2019 and 2020. Well, for the second researcher by Adinda Rizky Putri is applied Kahoot as a media in teaching vocabulary. And last previous research, Ministry Ranandia Pridadi is conducted to improve student motivation and reading comprehension by using Kahoot, while the researcher will focus on the influence of using Kahoot towards students' reading comprehension ability at the third semester of English Education Study Program of UIN Raden Intan Lampung in academic year of 2020 and 2021. Well, my reason why I choose and I want to do this research is to find out whether there is an influence of using Kahoot towards student reading comprehension ability after the using and apply this media to the student, and it can improving or not their reading comprehensions, especially in answering the questions. The next point is limitation of the problem. In my proposal will be in my proposal will be I would like to focus on the improvement of students in reading comprehensions to understand the questions easily and to answer the question easily and having fun. Well, the next point is the formulation of the problem is there any significant influence of using Kahoot toward students' reading comprehension ability at the third semester of English Education Study Program of UIN Raden Intan Lampung in academic year of 2020 and 2021? Well, for the next point is about the use of the research. There are two. The first is practically. The practically as to finds of this research are expected as a consideration for English teachers, whether there is influence of using Kahoot for student reading comprehension ability and as a contribution to the further educational research development. Well, theoretically, as this research completed the theory about the influence of using Kahoot towards student reading comprehension ability. Well, for the next is the scope of the research. There are four scopes of this research. For the first is the subject of the research. So, the scope of subject of this research will be students of third semester of English Education Study Program of UIN Raden Intan Lampung. The second scope is the object of the research. The object of this research will be the influence of using Kahoot towards students' reading comprehension ability. And the third scope is the place of the research. So the place of this research will be conducted in UIN Raden Intan Lampung. And the last scope is the time of the research. The research time will be conducted at the third semester of English Education Study Program of UIN Raden Intan Lampung in academic year of 2020 and 2021. Well, the next point is about the concept. First is about reading concepts. According to Brown, that reading is a process of negotiation of the meaning in the process of understanding a text, that readers bring their early thought to the net parts of reading process to finally reach their understanding about the meaning of the text they read. Well, based on Noonan, that reading is a process of decoding written symbols, working from a smaller unit, individual letters, to large ones like words, clause, and sentence. So, from the based on that expert, we can conclude that reading is an activity where the reader understands a whole of text, of the content of the text that they being read. By reading, the reader can also expand their knowledge. Reading can be done like in writing text that has been printed or from other sources. Well, and there are two types of reading based on Michalaki and Jeffries are following. The first is extensive reading, or we call reading for pleasure. So, extensive reading is a reading that reader may choose their own book that they like to read. And intensive reading is the process the readers understand the whole meaning of the text, more specific than extensive reading. It's seen from the ways in understanding the part of the text, it's such as decided topic, main idea, supporting detail, expression, grammatical feature, vocabulary, and many more of about reading. Well, the next point is the concept of Kahoot. According to Kepler 2015, Kahoot is one of the top from 100 applications that makes application in the classroom that can be used. The Kahoot number 36 application related for educational trends in this era. Then, based on EdTech 2015 also said that Kahoot is a free game learning platform that makes a learning process can be more fun to learn any subject in any language on any device and for all age. Well, and the third is from Siegel 2015 also defined Kahoot as an online game that can test the knowledge of the students on English reading skill. So, from this explanation, Kahoot is very suitable in teaching English in the free features. It can be quiz, discussion, and survey. Can be also as an assessment, icebreaker, and tool to stimulate students' discussion in any specific subject of English. Teachers are free to use mode of Kahoot, like I said before, like quiz, discussion, survey, icebreaker or assessment, and something like that. Well, they desire to use in the classroom. For instance, in teaching, speaking, it can use discussion and survey, and for quiz, it can teach theoretically such as grammar, uh, linguistic, reading, and many more. When playing Kahoot, the participant needs to log into the system. As a teacher, we have to give a PIN for the student to enter our Kahoot or that question we already prepared it before. It can use laptop, pads, or handphone. Uh, the goal for the learners is to choose the correct answer as fast as possible to get many points of quiz that already prepared by the teacher, so the teacher can apply the Kahoot after the teacher explained the material about reading comprehensions. Well, the next point is about research methodology. For the first is research design. For this research designed, the researcher use experimental research design. Experimental research design is meant to know the one variable between one variable to other variable. The next is population and sample. Population of this research is the third semester of English Education Study Program of State Unis of Winraden Intan Lampung in academic year of 2020 and 2021. And the sample, the researcher will take two classes. One class as a experimental class and other class will be control class. Research instrument. In this research, the researcher will use tests. Then data collecting technique. The researcher used tests. The test consists of pre-test and post-test. Pre-test will be given before the treatment and post-test will be given after the treatment. Whether to know there is influence of using Kahoot toward student reading comprehension ability or not. Well, the next is research procedure. Before doing a research, the researcher prepares some steps are planning and application. In planning, there are three steps. The first is the researcher determining the subject. The subject is third semester of English Education Study Program of Winraden Intan Lampung. Well, the second is determining a pre-test that will be given to the students. The third is determining the materials to be taught later. And the next is applications. In application also, there are three steps. The first is give a pre-test to the student. The second is give a treatment, the media of the students, and the third is give a post-test to the students. Well, the next is validity of the data. There are two kinds of validity. The first is content validity and the second is contract validity. Content validity is about the using of the textbook that the using of the textbooks or the material during the process of learning to the students means that all the tasks will be taken from that book based on the syllabus that used in that school or university. Well, the second is contract validity. It focuses on the kind of the test will be. Well, the next is technique of data analysis. The first is normality test. It's used to know whether the data is normal or not. The second is homogeneity test. It's to know whether the data is homogeneous or not. And the last is hypothetical test. It's to know the significance of data or not. Well, I think that's all that I can explain about my proposal, and thank you so much for your watching, and forgive me if I have many mistakes in my delivering material, and thank you so much. And the last I say, wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.